Ian from Cafe Import's Sensory Analysis Department. And today I would like to both welcome you to the Legendary Coffee Exchange and also give a quick introduction to our cupping form so that it is available to you to use as you're tasting these coffees. Obviously, using this cupping form is optional. It's not a requirement. It is certainly the case that cupping forms are double-edged. On the one hand, they can really help us dig into coffees. They can help us measure and describe our experience and then communicate with others. On the other hand, they can get in the way. Cupping form can get between us and a coffee, and it can get between us and the person who's behind that coffee, whether it's the producer or another roaster. So we're making this available as a tool, but just be very careful. Keep in mind the goal here is to communicate with another person. It's to taste something that you haven't tasted before, maybe discuss a approach to roasting that you've not used before. Really focused on the experience and the communication here, and this is just a tool that may hopefully be helpful for that. So let's get into it. We did a deep dive on the blog maybe 4 years ago, describing how this thing came to be. If you want to just open up your Google machine and type in Cafe Imports Perfecting the Enemy of the Good, that's available if you want to get in the weeds on this. But for today, we're just going to do some brass tacks, some nuts and bolts here. First things first, you'll notice that there are some different attributes from the SCA form or the COE form. On any cupping form, the attributes are just what the administrator is curious about. And honestly, it's that simple. So on this form, what I want to know is it fruity? Is it floral? Is it caramel? Is there acidity, sweetness, bitterness, and what is the body weight, right? And this leads me to the second point. We measure and score intensity rather than perceived quality. The assumption baked into this form is that if it's here on the form, then it's good. And obviously there are exceptions. There are intensely acidic coffees where the acidity is bad. We've found that almost always shakes out elsewhere. Those coffees tend not to be sweet. They tend to have intense bitterness as well. They don't tend to have fruity, floral, or caramel flavors. So if you just stay true to the intensity basis and attributes on this form, you end up with SCA convertible scores, and you end up with a really descriptive sheet at the end of the flight. And that's the last thing that I really want to point out here, is to approach this cupping form less worried about the scoring and more about using it as a descriptive tool. So as an example, think about a nice Yirgacheffe where you've got lots of citric acidity, you've got good sweetness, you've got moderate to mild bitterness, and you've got maybe a delicate thinner to normal mouthfeel. But what you also have is a lot of apricot, lemon, and probably jasmine, right? So by scoring intensity on here, you start to get a picture of what that coffee tastes like. It is, in the Yirgacheffe case, it's a real fruity and floral combo versus maybe like a double A Kenya where you've got big black cherry and blackberry or currant flavors, along with a lot of sugar browning in most cases, even at a sample roast, burnt sugar, vanilla, caramel, that kind of thing. Both the Yirgacheffe and that double A Kenya can have very strong or intense acidity. Usually, frequently, the Kenyas will be sweeter and have the heavier mouthfeel. Sometimes they have a bit more bitterness than those nice soft Yirgacheffes. So as you fill out the intensity, think of it as the frame or the structure of the coffee that you then can use your notes to fill in with more details, right? It's like this is the outline up here, and you color it in down here. This is the skeleton up here: fruity, floral, caramel, absent through intense. This is where you flesh it out down here in the notes with the descriptors. So our real goal here is for you to make a connection with the person on the other end of this coffee, the other roaster. Your mileage may vary with use of this form. Don't let it get in the way. Do try to use it to be descriptive of the coffee that you're tasting, and have fun with it. Just remember, the attribute scores provide an outline that describes the coffee's broad flavor profile, and the specific words that you use to describe the coffee and its attributes color that outline in and provide the details. So with that, good luck and have fun tasting these coffees. See you next time.